Is gold the new dollar? What is RBI's new move to secure India's future? And what is the great gold rush across the globe? Why is RBI stocking up tons of gold increasingly in present times? The reason behind it is a mix of geopolitics, economics, and search for security in the uncertain world. Hello everyone, welcome to Vajiram and Ravi's Flash News. My name is Shubhangi Singh and today we will be talking about the great gold rush that we are seeing where central banks are stocking up on gold and how it is not just about this yellow metal, rather much more about financial alignment as well as de-dollarization. So let us start with understanding that what has been happening. So in recent times, if you will look at the data, that you will find that there has been an increase in the purchase and stocking up of gold by RBI. If you look at 2024, you will find that the physical gold holdings were somewhere around 822 tons and it has increased to 879, more than 879 tons this year. Apart from that, if you will see the number as compared to previous years 2023-22, the number has been increasing in folds and there is a particular reason behind it. So in this very context, we clearly get to see from the data also that RBI has sharply increased the gold purchases, especially in the recent years. Now this phenomena cannot be isolated only for our central bank. This phenomena has been seen as a trend in other central banks as well. So basically in front of us we have a global central bank trend where all the global main central banks are stocking up on this yellow metal. And the whole idea of stocking up is to diversify the Forex reserves that they hold. Now a small question for all of you, if I talk about Forex reserves, especially for India, what are the key components apart from gold which are present there? Can you tell me in the comments section? Now when we are talking about this particular trend, which is not just peculiar for India, it is existent all around the world, we need to understand why this is happening. So this started with the Russia-Ukraine war in 2022. Now just after the start of this invasion, what happened that West decided to sanction Russia's economy and that's why they froze almost more than $300+ billion of Russia's USD assets, that means dollar assets. Now when we are talking about US dollar assets, that means if a country has dollar in their reserves or any other currency in their reserve, that means that currency can be used as a tool or a weapon in case of a crisis, in case of a situation which can be politically or globally motivated. And that was what was done for Russia. So in this very situation, the other countries learned a very simple thing, that the currencies showed the fact that they can be politically weaponized. These highlighted this fact, and as a response, the central banks across the globe turned to something which is neutral, which cannot be weaponized, and it was also sanction proof that no countries can sanction that particular asset. And which is that asset for us? That is gold. Now in this very scenario, we found that in the last year itself, the global reserves, जिसमें gold भी होता है, that has risen by 32,000 tons all across the world. So we see a rise of 32,000 tons amongst the global reserves in terms of gold in the last year itself, which consolidates and which also gives us a clarity on the trend that we are talking about, and this is what we are labeling as the great gold rush. Now when we are talking about this particular trend, we also get to understand that why RBI is buying so much gold specifically in the recent years. The reason behind it is the fact that it is giving us a geopolitical insurance. In the uncertain world where we do not know what alliance comes up together, what war may break out, in such a scenario, it gives India the protection from any kind of sanctions as well as freezing risks. So when we are talking about sanctions, India is in a position where it has been facing tariffs, where it has been looking to change alliance. But in all of this situation, we need to come from a position of strength. And that strength and insurance is being given by gold. Second thing, it helps in diversification of reserves. When we are talking about Forex reserves, we have USD dependence that is excessive in nature as of now. And if we want to remove this excessive dependence and we want to make it more balanced, how it can be done? By introducing something or increasing something that has lesser tendency to be used as a tool or weapon. That provision comes with gold. And that is why we are calling gold as something non-sovereign and a non-liability assets. And also you have to remember, it gives a increase in value as well. So if you look at the given data here, you will find that especially after 2022, especially after the 2 quarters of 2022, you will find that there has been increase in the purchase of gold in tons that you can see, and it has continued till now. Furthermore, there are more reasons, economic direct reasons, which are the economic reasons which help us to understand that why is RBI buying so much gold. It gives us a hedge, a protection against multiple risks. What are the risks that we are talking about? When we talk about inflation, in an inflationary situation, we know that rupee, or for that matter of fact any currency, loses its purchasing power. For example, let's just say you have 100 rupees today, and let's just say you had 100 rupees back in 2005 also. So if you took that 100 rupees in 2005 and went to a store, just imagine the amount of things you could have bought then, and let us look into the things that you can buy as of now from that 100 rupees. I am sure your answer would be that you can buy lesser things now. That means the same 100 rupees is giving you lesser purchasing power as of now as compared to before. But because the value is preserved in gold and the value is increasing, it gives us a protection against inflation. Second, it gives us stability in terms of currency fluctuation. Whenever we find that the rupee is weakening, we have to rejig our forex reserves, and gold price are seen to rise whenever our currency weakens. So in this situation, we are in a win-win situation, because if our currency is strengthened, good for us, but if not, we are preserving the value because the gold prices are rising. Third, we also get to see that gold will clearly serve as a crisis asset because it is non-sovereign, it is a non-liability asset. The gains which will be made from gold will be helpful, especially in times of financial turmoil. And this is a clear strategic signal that it is showing that there is resilience and alignment when we are talking about de-dollarization. It's just not about hoarding up gold, rather it is a trend which is also targeting dollar, because we don't want that currency should be used as weapons, which we have seen excessive in the recent years. So clearly, RBI is strengthening financial sovereignty with the help of gold, and which we can clearly see in the given data. If you see RBI's gold stock, it has increased, as I showed you before also, from financial 2024 to financial year 2025, from 822 tons to almost 880 tons. Apart from that, if you talk about the share of gold in the forex reserve, you will find that at present it is around 12.1% as compared to 8.9% back in last year at the same time. Furthermore, another advantage, the value of the gold that RBI is holding, it is somewhere around 4.31 lakh crore. That means there has been a 57% year-on-year accumulation, which this rise has been seen because of accumulation as well as price rise which is associated with gold. So this gives us a clear picture that how RBI is using this as a tool to facilitate financial sovereignty, and this will have clear impacts on India's forex reserves as well. So when we are talking about impacts on forex reserve, it clearly indicates that the total reserves will definitely rise, but we'll also get to see that the physical holdings are going to increase, as there has been a 35% increase in last 5 years. Another important impact that lies in front of us is the shift in assets, which also shows our shift in perspective, where we are reducing depending on US dollars. We also have reduced our holdings of US Treasuries. The number has gone down from $242 billion to $227 billion. That means the alienation is not just targeted towards dollar, but towards dependence on other financial instruments apart from our alliances or our own countries. And this trend has been seen by China, Brazil, Turkey, which also have reduced their dollar dependence in recent times. So clearly, it's not just our country which is not just de-dollarizing, but also building crisis-proof reserves. It is these countries as well which are on the very same route. Now, because of this, we will also get to see the impact not just on the reserves, but on gold prices as well as the global order. For example, if you get to see here that RBI has been the third largest buyer in the last year. Only two countries, Poland and Turkey, have been above us, who have bought more gold in last year as compared to us, and that has had a direct impact because the demand of gold has been rising. We have seen the prices of gold at present, this is today's price, where the gold has already crossed the mark of 1 lakh. It stands at 1,12,000 rupees and it is expected to increase. So now this increase in price of gold is an impact that we are seeing. Furthermore, because of this, the buying that RBI has done, it is almost at 40% more price, because if we look at the prices, then here we find that $3,073 per ounce and then 2,206 per ounce. That is the difference in this year and last year prices. That means 40% more has been paid, and gold, as I've shown you just in the chart, that it has hit record highs in recent times. And that will directly impact the global economy. That means the central banks which have been buying increasingly, this will definitely help them to have a long-term price support, fluctuations, protection from the fluctuations, but the private demand of, because of this high prices, this might be dampened in coming times. And we have also seen the weakening dependence and the weakening trust in dollar, which is going to rejig the reserve currency status that is present in the global order. Now, how this will take place, what is the way forward that lies in front of us? So, the first thing that we have to understand, that the global currency trends will see a rejig. How? When we talk about US dollars, the share from 71% which was in 2000, it has come down to 58% in 2024. Even if you think कि परसेंटेज जो है बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं है, बहुत लिमिटेड है, बट आप यहाँ पे समझिए कि ये एक इम्पॉर्टेंट टाइम पर ये डोमिनेंस जो है, हिजेमनी जो है डॉलर का कम हो रहा है. सो इवन इफ यू थिंक दैट द परसेंटेज इज नॉट टू लेस as compared for a 25-year period, you need to understand the hegemony and the hugeness that dollar comes with, the dominance it holds over the reserve currencies and the global order. In this context, this fall matters a lot, and it shows that how the dollar dominance is going down. It also highlights that gold's role, especially in the reserves, forex reserves, they have increased and it has almost doubled since 2015, and the value has also increased. In all of this, India lies on an end where we have strategically gained, where we have seen higher gold reserve have given resilience in crisis, and they will help in future as well. This has the increased forex reserve, the increased buying of gold has boosted investors' confidence. It has enhanced India's credibility in global finance, which can be seen with the recent increased rating, credit rating of India. Furthermore, it directly supports India's ambition, where India wants to be an important key player in the multipolar system. So when we are talking about a multipolar system, we have to break down the unipolarity, and that breaking down has been done through this system of focusing on a non-sovereign, non-liable and non-weaponizable asset, that is gold. In coming days, we will be seeing that there will be more gold buying. Why do you think that will go ahead, and what will be the impacts? Can you tell me down in the comment section? There will be rise of currencies such as yuan, euro and local currency debt. Furthermore, which gives us a space for internationalization of rupee, which was going to help us big time when we are looking towards emerging as a key player in the multipolar system. And India will remain active, not directly, but it will keep taking major steps towards active global de-dollarization. India has already taken multiple steps, which I have explained in the previous videos. You can go and watch them. If you want to know more, you can let me know in the comment section. That was all from my side. Thank you so much.